Hi guys, I'm going to be teaching you how to do a simple bouncing ball animation in Photoshop and export it as a GIF. The Photoshop version that I'm using is Photoshop CS6, but you can animate in any version after that, and some of the versions before this. The process is just a little bit different. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a new file. So I'm going to go File, New, which may not display on here, but it's File, New. Menu should appear here, and you want to go International Paper, A4, OK, and this will come up. So just again, that's File, New, International Paper, and OK to bring this up. The default size that pops up will be A4, which is what this is, but it's a little bit too big. So I'm just going to tap C. Tapping C brings up the crop tool over here. Just going to grab one of the corners and make it a little bit smaller. Then to get rid of this, I'm just going to tap these arrows over here so that it's no longer cropping and bring it up a bit bigger. The next step to getting to animating is going over to Window, and this should bring up a drop down menu where you can find Timeline. So once you click on Timeline, the timeline below will pop up with this first frame, which is just the blank background. So to begin animating, I'm just going to bring up a new layer. So this is the new layer button down here. Brings up layer 1. And in layer 1, I'm going to pick a purple and I'm going to draw a ball. Doesn't have to be fancy, just a circle. Just a regular circle will do. And down here you can see our frames. So this is frame 1, it's going for 0 seconds. So you want to add another frame over here. So this is the button that adds frames. Now we have 2 frames, both going for 0 seconds and both of the same ball. So for the second frame, we want to open up a new layer and draw another ball. So this ball is going to be a little bit less rounded. And then we'll open up another frame, another layer. And I'm going to have this ball being even less rounded. And then another frame, another layer, same thing. I'm going to have this one really stretched out. And then I might just bring this floor up a little higher. There you go. New frame, new layer. I'm going to have the ball hit. So once it hits, it's going to look a little something like this. Flattens out here. And then same again, new frame, new layer. Going to go out flat, new frame, new layer. Oop. That one's a bit big. Frame, layer. New frame, new layer. New frame, new layer. So as you can see here at the full height of its arc, so that one's a bit bigger than this one, which makes it a bit bigger. At the full height of its arc it's quite rounded, but then as it comes down it gets thinner and thinner before impacting, staying thin and then going back up to round again. So this is a principle in an animation called squash and stretch. So it gives an object more life, more gravity. I'll demonstrate after this what it would look like without squash and stretch. So we've got our whole arc going. So we now have to organize our frames. So I'm just going to highlight all of them. I'm going to tap on 10, going to go over, hold down shift and tap 1 so they're all highlighted. Then I'm just going to press these little eyes over in the layer area, and this means they are no longer visible, so they stop being visible within these frames. Okay, so everybody's gone. So we're going to go to frame 1, layer 1, frame 2, layer 2, and so on and so forth till we have each layer meeting up with its corresponding frame. Okay, it's all meeting up, and I'm going to tap 1, hold shift, go to 10, and then tap this thing down here, which brings up a menu of how many seconds you want something to last. So I'm just going to change it all to 0.1 seconds rather than 0, because 0 is very, very fast. And I'm just going to open up one more frame, and that frame is going to have nothing on it, and I'll make that one 1 second. So this is our little pause in between. So let's give it a go and see how well it bounces. So it starts at the height of its arc, gets thinner, impacts, squashes, and then stretches back upwards. Okay, so that's all you need to do to create this bouncing animation. Let me show you what it would look like without squash and stretch. So here's an animation that I prepared earlier. This is just a complete sphere. There's no squash and stretch. It is just the same circle all the way around. So I'm going to play it for you. So as you can see, it doesn't feel like there's any weight to this. It just kind of floats down, floats up, floats down, floats up. There's no impact, there's no gravity to it. But with the squash and stretch example with the purple ball, you can see it gains speed there, makes an impact, goes back up, and is overall just a bit more appealing than the other one and a bit more realistic. Okay, so this is how to export your bouncing ball as a GIF, which can be shared online. You can send it over Facebook. So you're going to want to go over to File and Save for Web. The drop down menu is probably not going to display, but File and then Save for Web. Hopefully this should be displaying now. So I've brought up File, Save for Web. Over here is the color table. It's a purple bouncing ball, so this is the color used. We want it as a GIF, and the looping option should just be forever, so it will just loop indefinitely. Click Save. I'm going to bring it over to just one of my files. I'm going to name it Purple Ball. Save it, and it should be done. So after I have exported my file as a GIF, it should be here, GIF file, Purple Ball. I'm just going to double tap on that, and it should open up the GIF of our ball.